My name is Mathieu Beausoleil, and although I'm not a classically trained chef, my passion for cooking and refined palate have earned me great respect in the culinary industry. Join me as I taste my way around the world, one bite at a time. This is Taking a Bite, Ottawa. Ottawa West is by far one of the poshest areas of town. With popular neighborhoods such as Hintonburg, Westboro Village, and Wellington West, there is no shortage of fantastic food. Join me as I bake some perfect croissants with pastry chef Kevin, create a beautiful paella with Chef Daniela, prepare some award-winning gelato with master gelato chef Tammy, and watch my friends and I attempt an escape room. It's time to discover Ottawa West. When I think Ottawa West, I think cool neighborhoods and amazing food. But one of my favorite things to eat here are croissants. Let's check in with Kevin at Artisan Bakery and see what he's mixing up today. Hey Kevin, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh man, it's been a while.
It has been.
You guys are known for amazing pastries, and one of the things I love is a flaky croissant, right?
Oh yeah, ours is flaky, crunchy, makes a mess when you eat it. That's how it should be.
Butter, right?
Yes.
Butter is so important.
Yep.
Why don't you show me the ropes of making croissant?
Sure, yes.
Sound good?
All right, yeah. So we have our dough mixed here and rolled out and ready to go. It's a dough of milk, butter, flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. And then now you're gonna put the butter in here.
The butter.
We're basically gonna make a little package.
Butter is better.
You're gonna put your points over here like this. So you're
Okay.
gonna put the square the other way. So it's gonna look like that.
That's better.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of a chance.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then pull
And
that
we'll just
off.
take that off. Look at that ratio. It's almost equal ratio of dough and butter. Now that's what makes a flaky croissant.
So we're basically gonna bring all
Fold the corners
dough
over?
into the corners, yeah. 'Cause you're natural. Yeah, this is a very important part because you want your dough to be pretty even on both sides. Yeah, and then we're gonna pinch it to seal it. So from here we're gonna pat it with our rolling pin. The rolling pin will kind of soften the butter again. So when we roll it out, to give it its layers,
Right.
the butter will be soft and pliable.
Okay.
So I just kind of tap
Beat
it.
the croissant dough. Okay, so we're actually just trying to fuse the butter to the dough? Is that what
Yes.
we're doing? And that butter layer was simply butter, right?
Yes, all butter.
Salted or unsalted?
Unsalted. I mean, you can use salted butter in certain
Yeah.
recipes. Where
But
you
it's
want it to be
always
very
better
salty.
to control your salt content
It is.
by yourself and
I
not
agree.
use salted butter. So.
Yes.
Cool.
And then we're gonna put it on the dough sheeter
All right,
here.
I feel like I should probably
Yeah.
slap it too.
I don't know why I do that. I always slap my dough after I do this.
All right, let's get it on the sheeter.
Yeah. The sheeter is amazing because you could use a rolling pin, but the sheeter will make the dough more flaky because it's fast rolls.
Okay.
You use a rolling pin, you can roll and roll and roll, and
Yeah.
you're just working your dough and working your dough.
And then you're
Where a
working
dough
some
sheeter is-
areas more than others.
Exactly.
So this is going to make that consistent shape.
Yes. So
Perfect.
it's fast and it's way more effective with croissant making.
All right.
And again, you want to go slow because if you just put this through those rollers really quick,
Right.
your butter's going to push and it's going to kind of come out here.
Burst out the side.
Yeah, so you want to take your time a little bit. All right, so we're gonna just roll this out about this long. And we're gonna put it back on the table here and give it a threefold. Pull your dough gently, you don't want to break your butter.
Yeah.
You gotta remember your butter is all in there.
We're going to be rolling out so many times and there's going to be so many layers of
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah, this recipe we're gonna get 27, so you can see the butter.
All right.
See?
Yeah, look at that.
Like a
eh?
perfect layer.
Look at that. That's actually really, really cool.
Right now, when we roll this out again, we're gonna have 3 layers until
Right.
we give it another.
Okay.
So what's 3 times 3?
3 times 3 is 9.
Yeah.
We got it.
And then so I only roll this to start twice because if you roll this, we basically do it 3 times, so we end up with 27 layers.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's good. Now we got it.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, you want to fold this one?
Sure.
So you got to kind of hide out where it's gonna, yeah. And then
So it's okay if we have that?
see,
Those
not
wrinkles?
bad. Jeez, you're natural. You
natural.
are croissant natural. And then so now this dough is gonna
You're at
rest
nine layers.
because if we roll this again on the sheeter, the gluten is too tough right now.
Right.
So we're gonna grab the other dough that's ready. Yeah, thank you, Tristan. So this dough is frozen for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
Because if this dough starts to rise, your butter in there is gonna break.
So at home though, you could put that in your freezer as well?
Absolutely, and I would because the freezer, like I said, stops fermentation,
Yeah, exactly.
and it also just hardens the dough part, so that when you roll it, it's just going to be much easier. It's going to be like you're rolling plasticine almost.
Perfect. So now we're at 9.
So yes,
Right?
so we're going
We're
to
at
give
9.
the last fold to end up with 27. The dough's just a little sticky, so I'm going to put a little flour.
So if the dough gets sticky, add a little bit of flour.
Yes.
As with most baking or pasta, right?
Yes, and you don't want to use too much. You never want to just throw.
No.
All right. And
so now, even though it's really cold, it's not gonna affect this process?
No. If it was like too cold, like if it was half frozen, then it would be bad.
Right. Timing the dough in the freezer is very key, right?
Very key.
So you want to look for a firmness?
Yes.
But not frozen.
We're gonna roll this to like 2.5 millimeters.
You can actually kind of see the butter shining through the dough.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You should never see little pieces here and there. Like, see it?
It's a nice solid color.
Yeah. We want this to be in and around the 14
inches?
Yeah, because then we want our croissants to be about 7 inches long. So I'm just gonna trim this, and we're gonna make beautiful danishes with the bottom part. It's funny because if you're not almost perfect with your croissants, you'll see a huge difference in each of them. It's kind of like pâte à choux. Pâte à choux is the same way, like choux paste.
Oh yes.
All right, so I just follow my points here.
I'm getting excited for croissants.
Just gonna trim this part here off. And all these pieces we mix into the next batch of croissant.
Oh,
so nothing goes to waste. So we're gonna just cut our croissant, and I just want to weigh one out quick. Let's see here, we're 90 grams.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? That's what you guys are going for. 90
we go for
grams?
90. Yeah. Some people go a lot less.
Right.
But I like to make them a little bigger.
Yep.
We make breakfast sandwiches on these things.
Yeah. I mean, who wants a small croissant, right?
There you go.
All right.
We're gonna roll these. I roll this way. So that's a little cut there. I open it up so that your leg's a little longer.
All right.
And then just try to roll it in one shot. I was trained in France and in New York to roll this way. Keep your point always towards you, and just roll in one shot. Don't roll twice. If you want good details and if you want your croissant to be extremely flaky, you don't want to roll again there, because see all your layers, you're gonna push them down. Try it out.
Let's try it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is beautiful. Okay, there we go.
This is a piece of art.
That is.
I think your pastry chef would
we're
be
gonna
proud.
Yeah, I think we're gonna label this one. Yes.
Label that one.
I'm gonna take a bite of that tomorrow. And so that little point there, you want it just sticking up a bit, because once it proofs and then bakes, it's gonna end up perfectly in the center.
Okay.
So we just put it there, see it sticks up a bit, and then you just want to gently push on the legs to make sure they stick. Otherwise, again, if you don't do that, they're gonna move all over the place.
Even spacing is very important when you're baking, right?
Yeah.
You don't want your pastries or cookies or whatnot to become one.
So these are going to go in the fridge overnight. And if I was doing this at home, I would spray saran wrap with some non-stick spray, and then just cover the croissants so they don't get dry. Keep them in your fridge overnight. The next day, leave the saran wrap on and just leave them in a warm spot until they puff up.
Right.
And then brush egg wash, let it dry, brush again, and bake these around 400 until they're completely browned.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you end up with
beautiful
this right
croissants.
Here. Wow.
Yeah.
So you got some different varieties of things.
Yes.
But look at this, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you got the nice
shine. Look how
shine.
flaky that is. You can see it crumbling, right, when you pinch it.
Yeah.
That's how flaky it is. And you can see all the little layers here, which is very important.
Very important.
It's so light, too, right? So light.
And now in the chocolate croissant as well, you can really see the layers.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make a mess, see? That's very important, I find.
That's when you know you're eating a real croissant, right? It's when it makes a mess.
Exactly, it's like you've got all your beautiful layers in there. You can see the butter.
Awesome.
Smells amazing.
That's the chocolatine, right?
Pain au chocolat, yeah.
Pain au chocolat. Kevin, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Thanks again for having us.
Yes.
And
anytime.
If you don't feel like making croissants over a few days at home, I mean, Artisan Bakery makes an amazing croissant, so
thank you.
Cheers to that, man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
I guess I'm gonna eat one.
I'll eat this one.
That's the one I wanted.
Not bad, this.
I love small plates and sharing, so tapas is my thing. My friend Chef Daniela at the Soca Kitchen is twisting things up a little bit. I'm talking about Spanish tapas with Latino flair. Paella, you say? Let's check it out. Hey, Chef Daniela.
Hello, how are you?
Good. It's been a while.
Good to see you.
Yes, for sure. So things are good.
You're good. We were about to cook with you, so.
That's true. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna do paella. Paella is traditionally from Valencia, from Spain. Okay, we're gonna start with a little bit of oil. This is just canola oil. If you wanna start, you can add like 3 spoons of the sofrito.
Heaping, flat. It's good?
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna give you my super wooden spoon.
Your super wooden spoon. Don't hit me.
If you burn something.
If I burn something. No.
Okay, so you want to like make sure it's evenly spread out.
So what part of the chicken are we using?
Well, I'm using the chicken thigh just because I think the thigh is going to be nice and flavorful.
Perfect.
Okay. At this point, we're also going to add our chorizo. This is chorizo ibérico. So what that means is it's a pig that goes through a special diet, okay? So you find it in the Iberian Peninsula. It's a pata negra.
So very marbled?
Yes, it has a lot of fat. You can actually taste the acorn. I usually don't use this kind of chorizo in a paella. It's so delicious in its own, like, you know, it would be a shame to like mix it in, but it's good. It's this guy.
That fat is delicious.
It is delicious. You can throw it right in there. And then that fat's gonna render and
help make it a little bit more rich.
Tasty. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Fat equals taste.
So we're gonna add a little bit of the smoked paprika.
It smells amazing. And the fat from the chorizo is already like, you can smell that coming out too.
So one thing I'm gonna add to this paella, which normally this is not like very traditional in Spain, even though the jerez, the cherry wine is traditional in Spain, but they don't normally add it. I'm gonna add just a little bit to the glaze that pan.
Perfect.
We're gonna add a little tablespoon of that tomato paste as well. This is what's gonna give all that flavor to the rice. And we wanna cook that down as well. So once again, building up all that flavor. When you throw in the rice, you throw in the chicken stock over here with saffron.
Right.
Okay, that we did earlier. Just so like subtle but aromatic. Like
and adds a beautiful color, right?
Yeah,
especially if you're adding it to like a rice or something.
Yeah.
Like paella.
So exactly.
The aroma is amazing.
Right? Yeah. Beautiful. So at this point, we're gonna get some of our paella rice. You can start going,
all
and
around?
I'll tell you when to stop. All around, yeah.
Okay.
Spread it out.
This is good.
That's almost okay. That's good.
So I mean, this is a short grain rice.
Yeah, it's a short grain rice.
And
so
it's
you want
important to use that for paella.
You want a little bit more starch in there. You want kind of like everything to stick together.
And what are we setting it to now?
To a low heat. You don't want things to burn. So at this point, we're gonna start layering our seafood. You can grab the langoustines.
Yeah, the shrimp.
And we're gonna put it nicely. Yeah, put it like this. Yeah, layer it out.
Usually I'm plating at the end, but now we're plating before.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. But that's what a perfect paella is. A piece of art.
You know, you eat with your eyes, right? So you want to make
100%.
sure, like, when you finish up, it's gonna look beautiful. So we have our scallops, are just right over there.
Shallot.
Yep, you want to cook what's under the shallot.
That's right.
You can even throw some of that juice in there, some of that seawater. There you go.
Perfect.
Okay, now we're gonna take some of the green peas, sprinkle them on there. So it's an easy dish, like when you're having like friends over, family over, or cooking for 100 people, you can just throw it right on, you know?
It's a great family meal, and it's also a fantastically flavored dish, right?
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
So we're gonna take some of the peppers as well, and we're gonna layer them. These are piquillo peppers. They're little, like, very sweet peppers.
Yeah. And they're roasted, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, they're roasted peppers, yeah. And then we're gonna take some of our broth, which that's chicken broth with saffron, okay? So that yellow color is what you get from all that saffron that's bloomed and slowly heated up over a long period of time. Just enough so you can see a little bit of the broth on top of the rice, And then what's gonna happen now, it's all that broth and all those flavors are gonna steam up and it's gonna cook the shellfish. If you notice, we haven't added any salt because we have all that seafood.
Yep.
We wanna make sure that all the salt from that seafood doesn't oversalt the dish.
Absolutely, seafood is always salty, naturally, so it's good to add your salt at the end. So now we're gonna let this simmer.
We're gonna let it simmer, leave it as is, and then in about 20 minutes, this is a small paella, so it should be done.
Perfect.
Give it a try, yeah.
Let's let her simmer.
Let it go.
Oh my god, that smells so good. Oh my god, the seafood. Oh,
it's all
man,
that
that's
seawater,
amazing.
right? Yeah.
All that seawater. Perfect. I mean, I can't wait to taste it.
Let's head out.
Thanks for having us today, Gustavo. I'm really looking forward to the paella.
Thank you for coming, and let's go and try with this Spanish wine.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, here we have the paella.
Oh, wow. Man, it looks good. Looks good. We did a good job.
We're gonna add a little bit of the olive oil I was telling you about before.
Perfect.
And then something that we add is a little twist. The jerez that we added before, we're gonna add a little bit towards the end. And that sea salt, also the Maldon salt.
Buon appetit.
That rich seafood flavor, right? Oh.
Yeah.
You're right. The chorizo in here is awesome.
seafood.
So
it's
many
not
flavors.
overwhelming. Yeah.
No, and I mean, a great idea to finish with the flake salt, because that allowed for us to let the seafood really season the dish,
Yeah.
and then add that little bit of salt to highlight the flavors. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Anytime.
Great seeing you again. And
Yeah,
until
anytime.
next time.
Until next time.
Just like most of us, I love ice cream, but I'm a big fan of the Italian variety. Let's check in with Master Gelato Chef Tammy of Stellaluna, where she's making some award-winning gelato here in Ottawa. Hey Tammy, how you doing?
Hi, well, thanks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Welcome to Stellaluna.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited. I know that you guys have an internationally award-winning gelato, I mean,
Yep.
right here in Ottawa.
So it's a rich chocolate with a single barrel organic bourbon. Then we're gonna do a truffled swirl and a maple candied pecan.
Where do we start?
All right, so what we've done, first of all, we have to do a base.
Yeah.
And so to make our base, your key ingredients are predominantly milk, a little bit of cream.
Okay.
I mean, with gelato is predominantly a milk-based product.
Yeah.
The milk fat's about 5 to 8%. Ice cream can be up to 22% for
Exactly.
good quality ice cream. You're going to need some egg yolks in this particular recipe.
Okay.
All of it was pasteurized to begin with, but it gets pasteurized again.
Right.
Of course, sugar is
Yep.
another key ingredient for that. And sugar actually binds to water, and
Yeah.
it creates the structure of gelato. So not just for sweetness, but it's important for the actual structure. Some
awesome. Okay.
really good quality dark cocoa powder.
Okay, perfect.
And that, of course, your flavor is only as good as the ingredients you put into it, so very important. And then we're going
Applies
to
to
put some
everything, yeah.
dark chocolate. So what we do, we're going to start with these ingredients.
Okay.
We're going to raise the temperature to about 90 degrees.
Okay.
What we need to do to get all those flavors to blend is we need to create high heat,
Right.
and then we need to drop the temperature drastically,
Okay.
and then hold it at fridge temperature for at least 12 hours,
Okay.
so that the flavors have time to mature. And you can taste, if I make a flavor with a base that I've done an hour ago,
Right.
as to one that's had time to mature overnight, the depth is missing.
It's kind of like soup, right?
It is.
Soup is
You
always
need-
better the next day.
Yep, you need to have that time to mature.
Okay, so like Italian gelato, like you said, primarily uses milk.
Not all gelatos use eggs.
Okay.
Eggs in this is acting as a stabilizer
Okay.
because that's it. Those are the only
Yeah,
ingredients
exactly.
that are going into that. The lecithin in the egg yolk
Yeah.
is what's acting as your stabilizer. We
Right.
make our batches fresh every day.
Absolutely.
Making sure that their balanced sugar to fat ratio is very important.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when we're making a flavor that's predominantly nuts,
Right.
pistachio, hazelnut, almond, peanut butter,
Right.
there's a lot of natural occurring oil in those, so we have to add very little cream.
Okay.
As opposed to something that might be more like a dulce di leche, more
Yeah.
something sweet, then we need to add a little bit more cream because the sugar, of course, decreases the freezing point.
Cool.
So it's all science, it's all chemistry. I wish I had paid attention.
So you are like a scientist.
if I had only
Mad
paid
scientist,
attention.
not a master gelato chef, but a scientist. All right, cool. So we've got our base. We've pasteurized it.
Yes.
We've dropped that temperature.
Yep.
And it's been 12 hours.
Yep.
Now where are we now?
Now we're ready to make a flavor. All of the flavors that we have, they
Perfect.
all stem from 4 bases.
Okay.
One is a chocolate base,
Okay.
and again, a lot of people in the gelato world use a universal base,
Okay.
and they add to it, so they'll add cocoa powder. I found
After the
that,
bases.
yeah,
Ah, okay.
and I found that our chocolate really it differentiates itself in the depth of flavor because of the cocoa powder being heated to that high temperature.
In
so
that
that's
base,
why
yeah.
it's so much more work, but we do that. Then you have all your cream-based flavors. Then there's a base for all the flavors containing nuts. And then we have one for sugary flavors. So what we have today
All right.
is our straight base that we've made with only this ingredients. And then to that, we're going to add bourbon. And because we're adding bourbon,
Yeah.
which we know decreases the freezing point,
That's right.
we have to balance it with an element of cream.
Okay.
So you can add some bourbon to that.
Perfect.
Whole thing. And then because we have just decreased the freezing point,
That's
we
right.
need to add some cream to it
Okay.
to help balance the
To
sugar
balance that
versus
out.
fat.
Perfect,
So we're
yeah.
going to add cream in there. And then we have to get the super duper blender out because all ingredients must
Super
be.
duper. That is some serious
So
blender.
come on over here.
Power tools in the kitchen. That's what I'm talking about.
So we'll pop it back in our
All right.
handy dandy water. And then what we're going to do is come over to our blast freezer. So pour that
Help it
right
freeze.
into there.
Perfect.
And you get a little
smells
aroma
delicious.
of bourbon, chocolate.
Oh yeah. That's
so
amazing.
It smells so good. Perfect. So then we're going to turn it on.
Perfect.
And I'm just going to adjust the setting. And now we need to wait for about 10 or 12 minutes.
All right.
And when it comes out, we're going to be back over here and we're going to be adding some of our pecans.
All right.
Now, what we do with these pecans is we toss them with a really nice local organic maple syrup. And we're going to spread them out on a baking sheet, splash them with bourbon, a sprinkle of Meldon sea salt just to heighten the flavor.
Exactly.
We're going to bake them off in the oven until they're almost candied, and they're really, really tasty to eat as they are.
I don't know if I believe you. Oh wow.
Nice. They get stuck in my braces if I had.
That's
any, so I
fantastic.
can't. So we're going to chop those up. We're going to add it, and then we have here a ganache that we've made. So the beauty of the ganache, and one of the reasons this flavor did so well, is the complexity.
Right.
Ganache, of course, when it's frozen, will stay soft.
That's right.
It doesn't freeze. So you've got, and it stays warm. So when you get a bite, you've got the crunch of the peanut.
Right.
You have the cool gelato that melts in your mouth, and you're left with this warmth. That's the ganache.
Yeah, which is almost going to taste like fudge, like
It
a
tastes like a
dark
piece of
chocolate fudge
in there.
inside
so
of there.
you
Wow.
have all these, and then you've got that bourbon aftertaste, and it's complex. You have all these different things happening at once in every bite.
Complexity by the spoonful.
Yes.
I like it.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll let that go. Once it's done, we'll get it out and we'll go from there. Beautiful. Oh man, you can smell that deep chocolate
can
flavor in
smell
the
it.
bourbon. It's
I'm
fantastic.
just gonna shut it down.
All right.
I'm gonna get some nuts. I'm going to get some ganache.
Beautiful.
Pop it in there.
I love how the ganache is not going to freeze because it's going to create an amazing texture and flavor.
And then I'm just going to give it a little whirl here just to
Excellent.
and back in.
All about the layering.
Yep.
Beautiful.
A little bit of goodness in every bite. Whew, got some on my shoe.
Don't waste it, Tammy.
That's why you don't wear fine footwear in the kitchen.
Plating gelato. Fantastic.
I think it's ready.
Okay,
ready
let's
to
do
eat?
this. Let's
Let's do
yeah.
it.
Awesome.
And shall we toast?
Cheers.
Here's to our
To
award-winning gelato.
Stellaluna's amazing award-winning gelato.
To love of gelato.
That ganache. You get that amazing warmth of the bourbon even, right?
I never get tired of this.
That is fantastic. Wow. The chocolate, the depth of flavor like you described before, the crispy candied pecans are just fantastic.
It's got all those things happening.
I love that heat though on the back. On the back, yeah.
You get the bourbon on the back of the tongue.
Tammy, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for having us.
Thanks so much
Looking
for
forward
coming.
to my next liter of gelato.
Good. See you then.
So guys, thanks for joining me. I'm a big fan of escape rooms.
No idea what to expect.
Basically, we're gonna go into a room, we're gonna discover, explore
Find some clues. We're
Find
doing the
some-
tomb.
the tomb.
Should be fun.
The most important part of doing an escape room is teamwork, right? We need to communicate, kind of like what you guys do in your day-to-day business is communicate with your teams and your staff.
I'm thinking we can flip over some carpets, look over some rugs, find some keys, figure a code, and that's it.
Maybe the
Can't be any
mathematical
easy than
skills.
that.
Yeah, maybe some mathematics. I mean, there's always, there's numbers. There's always numbers. Are you good with puzzles, you would say?
Puzzles? Yeah, I can be all right with puzzles.
Like 20 piece or
20
100
piece?
piece?
5 piece.
Yeah, 5-piece. No,
It's the big
no.
ones.
I like the 1,000-piece.
I mean, there's obviously puzzles too, so that's great. But Andrew, I mean, you said you've done them before,
Yeah,
so I
it's the
got
first-
high hopes for you. What are the most challenging parts that you've faced before?
Well, it's just figuring them all out. Everything's like just has to be done a certain way.
Yeah, everything's sequenced, right? Everything needs to be done correctly. It can't
Yeah.
just be done out of sync. It's got to happen, and it's got to happen the right way. Cheers, let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Good luck. Let's go.
To the tomb. Let's go.
Tomb.
hand.
Got it. Oh, let's go. Run. The tomb is ours. That was awesome. What did you think?
I loved it. It was so much fun. Best part was watching you with the staff trying to angle light into God knows what.
It blew my mind that they actually made it so intricate and integrated and engineered.
Yeah.
It's like, it was engineered.
Yeah, it
like
totally
the doors, everything, the whole secret compartment that magically exploded open when you put the right thing in the right order because magic.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that I personally love it, and that's why I invited you guys to do an escape room, is that these things are really good. They're good problem-solving things, and I mean, you guys do that in the kitchen and the butcher shop, solving problems all day, so I figured I'd test your brains a little. Do you find this room was easier or harder? Or?
Well, it's the only one we ever done. Like, we're past, made through, so.
Okay.
But obviously it's probably because we're a smart bunch.
We're smart
Yeah,
bunch.
yeah.
This is a good group.
We got it, yeah, exactly.
It was fun. I just sat back and let you guys do everything.
You spent some time on the snakes, though.
I spent some time on the snakes.
The snakes.
I don't know. There's so much going on. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You don't want to waste too much time on one thing, so you're kind of always like,
You gotta move.
But in the
you're
same
thinking
way,
about the
though,
next thing you
like-
want to try and do, yeah.
Very much like working in a kitchen or working in a restaurant where it's like team and, you know.
Big time, yeah.
Teamwork, jumping on different stations.
Yeah.
Making things work. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for joining me on my show. Yeah. Looking forward to going into the butcher shop and back into your restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And cheers to that, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to taking a bite.
Taking a bite.
Take a bite.
Cheers, boys. Well, that's it, Ottawa. I've prepared some amazing food, met incredible people, and took part in some fantastic activities. From farm to table, butchery to fine dining, fresh to aged, gelato to croissants, Asia to Canada, winterlude to afternoon tea, you've truly highlighted the best of our nation's capital. So question is, where will I be taking a bite next?